This episode of IKE Sermons is brought to you by the Smoke of the Week. God Bud.
God Bud. Smells like... Hold up. Bullshit. There's nothing there.
It tastes like angel farts. God Bud. Throw that shit away. Better yet, don't buy it in the first place.
Have you seen this right here? I'm sure you have. There's a lot of this shit right here going around the net right now. And, at first I actually thought it was pretty funny until I looked into some things and realized that it's not really the elderly that are fucking everything up. It's the rich. But I'm still gonna fuck with boomers as a Gen Xer. I'm still gonna fuck with you boomers, because it's you fuckers that keep voting in people like this who don't do anything but help the rich fuck us. And then you blame it all on your grandkids, screaming about accountability. You ever work retail? That's what I'm doing right now. That's right, I'm an old ass motherfucker who sells shit. Been a long downward spiral. Working retail as a person of color, that's always fun. Because you'll always get those certain not people of color customers who may seem nice. They actually may be nice, but they always want to say dumb shit. Like, I'll greet them, "Good afternoon, how can I help you?" And the first thing out of their mouth is,
"You staying out of trouble?"
"Oh, am I staying out of trouble? Do you see where I'm at? Do you see what I'm doing? Do you see me working over here? Do you see me trying to provide you good customer service and give you what you came there to spend your hard-earned money on? You don't see that. Yeah, I'm about to get in trouble, but you actually gotta hold all that shit in. Tell you what, at the end of the day, sometimes I got a mouthful of blood from biting my tongue. Sometimes I just let it slide, like, fuck it, just get this fucker out of here. Give them what they want, give them the fuck out of here. But a lot of times I'll counter-strike on the sly, like one of my favorite responses to
"You staying out of trouble?"
is, "Why would I do that?" Or, "You know I am. Too many snitches around here." I actually fucked one of them up in the head one time by saying, I'm not genetically predisposed to realize that was even an option. Sorry, I had to change clothes. I'm right next to a window, and it's wintertime in Michigan. Forgive me. I know a lot of people, many of whom are Christian. And I notice they'll say, "We believe that pi equals 3, or that stars can fall to the earth," or what other random nonsense. But I also notice that they'll rarely say, "I believe." it's almost always we believe. Like they're a hive mind or they're Borg or something like that. They never seem to stop and think, what if what they're claiming, what they and their fellow Christians believe isn't what their fellow Christians believe? Do they believe because others in their club told them to believe it? Like, for instance, I hear some say, once saved, always saved. And then other ones will say, that's not true. I don't believe that. And if Jesus died to wash away all sins, but you don't believe it, but let's pretend it actually is true, wouldn't it be that he still did it and you're saved whether you believe it or don't? I mean, you can believe the earth is flat, but it's fucking round, whether you believe it or not. I suppose it's possible to believe that water is not wet somehow, but it's still wet, whether you believe it or not. And they're usually like, well, I'm not judging you. That's God judging you. Wait a minute. Isn't God part of we? Don't you believe what your God believes? Aren't you on his side? If you're not judging me, then why even preface what you're about to say with,
I'm not judging you, but...
That's akin to,
Well, I'm not racist, but...
You know, after the but is going to be something racist. And you do judge. Don't you think God is good? Sounds to me like you judged him as good. And they'll talk about a certain standard that God uses to judge us by. You know, a standard that's worthy of a God. Why would that be applied to people who are not gods? That makes me think of when you see a parent and they've got their 2-year-old and they're making the 2-year-old walk and getting mad because the 2-year-old can't keep up. Speaking of the standard thing, I'll ask Christians, why is it that somebody can do rotten shit all their life? I mean, like really rotten shit, you know, raping puppies and kidnapping, whatever else, and have a deathbed saving. Get saved on their deathbed. Now they get a reward, you know, heaven forever. Yet somebody who tries to be good, and for the most part does good stuff, but doesn't see the evidence to believe in this God, gets thrown in the furnace forever.
Well, you don't know the standard that God uses to judge us.
I mean, if we're supposed to be God's children, what parent throws their child in the furnace for not believing in Santa Claus? Sounds like God is worse than Hitler. I mean, Hitler tortured and killed people, but he didn't do anything to them after they were dead.
Again, you don't know the standard God uses to judge us.
Fuck that. That's that whole
I brought you into this world and I'll take you out
mentality. Motherfucker, I ain't asked to be here.
Well, God had a plan for you.
Without consulting me first? Include me out, fucker. I'm no formal debater. My debate skills are weak to moderate at best. But I challenge God to a debate. He can name the place, the time, the format, the audience, the venue. Shit, he can pick the topic. Even if it's, why am I sending this nigger to hell? I will bet my eternal soul that he doesn't show up. Even if he does, joke's on him. I don't have a soul. I know a lot of believers who do things that are supposedly, that makes them not true Christians according to other Christians, like smoking and drinking and cussing. And speaking of cussing, I know quite a few of them that will drop the F-bomb like it's no problem. Like, yeah, I'll say that in front of Jesus. But don't say goddamn.
How dare you take God's name in vain?
In vain? You think I didn't mean that shit? I guess don't say it because it makes God all mushy in his feels. And he doesn't like being mushy in his feels because he's supposed to be this,
I'm stronger than anybody, all powerful. But don't you dare say my name, unless you're begging me.
And don't say Jesus Christ unless it's in some form of subservience or praise or whatever. Maybe God and Jesus are one and the same, but separate somehow, because they both sound like snowflakes. Pussies. You're a pussy. That's why you won't debate me.
Pussy.
How dare you refer to my God, my personal God, as a snowflake or a vagina? Do you even realize what he went through for you so you can stand there and make a mockery of his self-righteous suicide? Would a pussy go through this for people that don't even care?
Well, maybe God is real. And Jesus was him. And the only thing they got wrong is the resurrection. They nailed him to some wood and they tortured him for hours and hours and hours. And don't get me wrong, that's fucking horrible. But I ain't asked that nigga to do that shit. Shit. If there were no Jesus, there'd be no hell to save me from. Which means there would be no need for Jesus. It's like Jesus set the house on fire so he could come in and play hero and pull you out, save you from what he's going to do to you if you don't blow him at every opportunity. So I guess you got to get ready to swallow. Listen, if you can drink eggnog, you can swallow. And as far as feelings, I don't hear any gods crying. That's just you. Are you upset because I'm talking shit about God and you really wish he'd hit me with lightning or something right now and he's not doing it? Almost like he doesn't care. or just isn't there. Listen, I don't know that I'm correct. You don't think that I'm correct. But are you upset because I might be correct? Look, it's gonna be all right. It's okay. Your feelings are valid. It's just what they're based upon that isn't.
Shouts out to my latest subscribers, Nicole Virgin, my sister from another mister. Ralph Gonzalez, mi hermano, gracias por el apoyo.
Listen to me.
Thank you. Wow, what a terrific audience.
I only have one question.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan?
I confess it. Crimes in the series are beyond counting.
It's fun. Look at the fun we're having.
It was good. It was great.
I hate you!
You suck.
Why not simply share?
You drunk. Don't take it personally. I don't entirely trust myself. Oh. Are we friends now?
Stop that. You're making me uncomfortable. Evil notions in my head.
You think you bad, huh? Woo, woo, woo. You hear that? Suck it, partner.